Welcome back to another episode of Private Parts with me, Liv Bentley.
And me, Tom Lucy. This is the podcast where nothing is off limits. Each
week, we will read the most
let's do
intimate...
it. This is a bad...
Yeah, what is it sitting over there?
No, I don't know. I'm getting overexcited.
Don't get nervous.
Okay.
Each week, we will read the most intimate and sordid details of our lives from our diaries.
Yes. Bang. In.
Nailed it.
Hottest day of the year.
I know, and we're in here. No, I'm
I
joking.
know. It is very, very hot outside, isn't it, Liv?
Yeah, I feel like we should be having a drink. We might have to do... I mean, but the heat does make you want to have a little glass of
I think
rosé.
you just want to drink through this podcast, don't you?
Yep. No, I don't. I show up sober. Actually, that sounds wrong.
That's sort of the bare minimum that we require, isn't it? You're showing up
We do
sober.
record it on a Monday morning.
Who says that at their job? Guys, what the fuck are you complaining about? I show up here sober every day.
I can't say that for my last job.
Like,
no.
it's sort of, you're really putting the effort in.
No, but it's hot. It's a Friday. It could be nice.
Yeah, it is very much drinking weather, isn't it? Are you going to drink this weekend?
Oh, yeah. No, I'm trying. No, because do you know what I've realised? Every time I drink, right, and I've had 2 rather large nights, not so big, I get sick. And I know I called you the sickly child. Mm-hmm. First time I had a big night and I went out in my tennis skirt, I got that weird virus.
Mm-hmm. You got that STD.
I got an STD, and then I didn't get an STD, just in case I was wondering. And no, I've never had one. And then Sunday night, when I went up for the football, woke up the next day with fucking COVID.
Do you think that you might be allergic to alcohol?
Oh, I thought you were going to say to, like, the general public or something, because they were giving
Well,
me...
no.
Do I think I'm allergic to alcohol? Yeah, most likely, probably, actually. Thinking about
So
it.
maybe it just doesn't agree with you and you should just stop drinking altogether.
Well,
Or maybe it's certain drinks. Like for me, if I drink Sambuca, I'm fucked. Like I can't...
How often do you drink Sambuca?
Well, I don't, because I'm not a 15-year-old girl, but when back in the day, Sambuca felt like quite a big thing and I just I could never handle it. Everybody's got one drink that they can't handle. What's yours?
Most of it.
Water.
Water. Fuck off. No, mine's wine. That's the killer.
Yeah, white wine for me is bad as well.
But,
Because I can drink white wine like water. It doesn't taste of anything to me. So I can just drink it like I'm drinking one of those big 3-litre bottles of water.
Just necking it back. That's like me with
It's
rosé.
dangerous for me.
Although I heard ages ago that women shouldn't actually drink white wine because it makes them slightly aggressive. And at the time, I was a little bit rogue.
Who told you that?
I think
Makes all women aggressive?
No,
or just
but I think that I don't think
Parsons
I've made
Green?
that up. Just only the CEO of Passing Green gets a little bit wild after a mega
Yeah.
pint of white wine.
It does, yeah. Megapint. You know where that comes from?
Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
I actually watched that documentary recently.
Yeah, I didn't know that the phrase megapint comes from the Johnny Depp case.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
I did. That's where I picked it up from.
Oh, you started saying it after that? I feel like you've said it for ages.
Yeah, because that case was quite a long time ago.
A megapint, yeah. He liked a megapint of wine.
Megapint of
He
red
lives in
wine.
London now. Maybe we
he?
could get him out this weekend. Have a megapint with
He
Johnny
was
Depp.
he was in the Raffles kitchen once.
What?
In the back of Raffles, yeah.
Johnny Depp was
yeah.
in the back of Raffles.
Yeah.
Are you sure? You sure that wasn't Spencer Morgan?
100%. A friend of mine showed me a photo. I was like, that's quite jokes.
I tell you what I am going to be drinking this weekend because, Liv, what is it this weekend?
Your birthday.
My fucking birthday. Big.
It is big.
I'm going to be 21.
How old are you actually?
28.
It's nearly my age, my friend.
Yeah. It's your birthday in August.
Yeah, and I won't be doing
We could have combined.
No, I don't like celebrating birthdays, to be totally honest with you. What are you doing for yours? Oh, you're meant... Oh.
I'm not doing that much, to be honest. Last year I had a bit of a big blowout, and this year I think I'm going to keep it fairly calm.
Yeah.
28 doesn't feel like that much of a big deal.
No, it's not. I mean,
No.
30 is, but...
30's a big deal. You're turning 30.
Yeah, thank
and you're
you.
not doing anything, as
According
far as
to the
I'm
Daily
aware.
Mail, I'm 32, by the way, which I think is fucking rude.
Are you 32? You can be
No,
honest
I'm
with us.
30. I'm 29.
A lot of people in the public eye do lie about their age. At what point do you think you might start lying?
I don't know. It
35?
depends when the Botox just stops working. I think if it like suddenly catches up with me, I'll be like, well, obviously not.
I have a bit of an issue with birthday parties. Not other people's, but mine.
Right.
I've never really enjoyed throwing a birthday party for myself. I find it really quite stressful.
I hate
Inviting
it.
people, hoping they're going to turn up, people cancelling at the last minute, hiring somewhere and worrying that you're going to get there and no one's there. I find like with balloons everywhere and you're just sat there with you.
And a clown.
I find the whole thing like too much stress for what you get out of it.
But
I love going to other people's birthdays because that's like there's
You
no
gotta do
there's no
nothing.
pressure there. But your own, the idea of like putting something together and people arriving and then them not enjoying it, or them being like, oh, we went to Tom Lucy's birthday, it was a bit shit.
And he did stand up.
I don't want people saying that. He did stand up, but he got booed off by his dad.
He had Nigel Farage.
My
James
dad
Aspinall.
actually, at one of my birthdays, maybe like 5 years ago or something, it was at my parents' house, and my dad like said a few words, which I wasn't expecting him to do, and it was really awkward after the lunch.
That's quite sweet.
It was quite sweet, but I just wasn't expecting him to do it. And then he'd made like a slideshow of photos.
Oh, that's adorable.
Of me from birth to whatever I was, 24. But for some reason, he'd put them all in black and white. And he'd put Coldplay underneath them.
Like your funeral.
And it looked like I had died. It looked like a memorial service. And me and my family just sat and watched like 2 minutes of black and white pictures of me with like Fix You by Coldplay playing underneath. And we were like, sorry, this is the most somber birthday party ever. Why have you picked such a sad song?
But that's sweet though, that he did something.
It's a sweet idea, but in reality, we were all like, it really felt like I'd passed away in some horrific accident. So maybe I'll do that this year. Maybe I'll put together a slideshow.
Maybe get Olivia to do the slideshow. But this is where you're lucky. You can get Olivia to organise it.
Yeah, that's true. I guess that's what happens, isn't it? Yeah. But who's going to organise it for you then?
Well, this is the thing. And my sweet family every year organise a surprise thing for me. They tell me they're doing it. And they're like, we're going to do this.
Every year they have a surprise party?
Most years. But I'm the only one out of all my siblings who hates my birthday. I've just never enjoyed it. I think it's because it's on the bank holiday weekend of August. As a child, everyone was always away that weekend. So I just sort of... What's your star sign?
Leo?
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's why I didn't...
Leo's the like arsehole one, isn't it?
Is it? I ask, but as if I fucking know. I always, whenever people...
You're like a narcissistic arsehole. I think that's the Leo one.
Is it? No.
I think so. Leo is like the one where you're like, everything has to be about you all the time.
Known for being fiery or passionate and regal.
Regal?
Regal.
Oh, I like regal.
I know you do, because you're corgi. Passionate? What are you passionate about, Tom?
I am... I guess it's hard to make a case for me being passionate when you accuse me of being monotone all the time.
Well, you could be a monotone, passionate. Passionately monotone.
I'm passionately monotone is what I am. Yeah.
Works.
Yeah.
And fiery.
Yeah, very extremely.
I'd like to see you in that sort of situation where
I think no, but a lot of people who like perform for a living are Leos. It's weird if you look it up because it's that like sort of that sort of like need for attention. A lot of people who do it for a living have that.
Attention seekers.
Yeah.
Do you think you're an attention seeker?
Well, I mean, I would assume so. Yeah.
Really? I thought you were the sort of person who likes to settle back in the background and just... Yeah, I know you like to be on stage and perform, but...
Yeah, but maybe, yeah. I'd like to be on stage in front of lots of people and then be alone. Like, you must be that as well, aren't you?
No, Virgo, if you don't mind.
Oh, you're at the end
Loyal.
of it.
Nuts.
So are they going to throw you something this year?
I think I'm literally just going to do like a family lunch. The thing is as well, my family's so big, so the family alone is like 15 people. So that's
See,
like
mine's 4, including me. So it's not enough for a party, is it?
Well,
that's just a lunch.
That's...
If you had all your family together, you could maybe call that a party.
Oh, we go wild. When we're all together and then
There's nothing party about my family.
Really? I think
you
should come...
A lot of military men and black and white slideshows.
See...
We stand for the national anthem halfway through the meal. What's the best birthday you've ever had? If I say that to you, what's the first thing that comes into your head?
My family organised a really sweet surprise one. But the only problem is obviously I got a little bit too drunk. So I think it was like 3 years ago when I was living at my old house, and they'd done this whole surprise thing and got like all of my mates down to my parents' house. It was in like a marquee. And I was then waiting in my flat for a friend to pick me up who said she was just taking me for dinner, and then she drove me down there. But the problem was
and they had a marquee and stuff?
Yeah, and it was amazing.
That is amazing.
She was running late, so I was like, oh, I'll just have a drink while I get ready. By the time she showed up, I was absolutely shit-faced, and I was like, oh, fucking brilliant. And so I was just sitting in the front of her car, hammered, rolling into this house, and I walked around the corner, it was like all my mates, and I was... Yeah,
See,
rolling down
I've
the hill.
never had like a walk around the corner and everyone shouts surprise party, but
it was very sweet. And
I don't actually know how well I would handle that. I don't think I would enjoy it that much.
I think you would though, because I
don't know. I wouldn't know what to do, like where to look or what to say.
Yeah, don't do what I did. I ran around the corner and pulled my dress down and flashed everyone. And my dad went, no.
Why did you do that?
Because I was
Because you were nervous.
Yeah. Hi.
That's what you do when you're nervous.
No, I used to do that a lot actually, which is really weird.
I love that you came into the surprise party pissed and then took your clothes off?
Why did you take them off? I just flashed everyone. No, I really like that one. It's surprising. I didn't think I used to not think I liked surprises, but actually, they are quite sweet. I think it's because my family always just think, I don't know. They're just
Surely
very
if they do a
cute.
surprise party for you every year, it's not really
That
a
much of
surprise, is it?
No, but they basically, now they just get into doing like nice lunches or whatever and like have my
That's
friends.
nice.
I like chilled things.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go like clubbing for my birthday or...
No.
And also because it's in the middle of summer, I'd rather do something in like down at my parents' house that's just quite
Yeah,
chill.
nice and chilled. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a good idea. What's the worst birthday you've ever had? Does anything come to mind?
No, weirdly not actually.
Have you had like exes of yours organise things that have gone wrong?
So this particular one that was amazing, at the time, I wasn't back with one of my exes. So I'd invited the other ex, or the other ex had been invited, also asked to then say a few words.
Your
But then-
ex-boyfriend
both
asked to say a
exes.
few words?
No. My sisters asked him because they love him. This is a guy called Digby. And
I think we all know who that is.
so Digby then...
If you're a fan of men's fashion Instagram content.
Anyway, he had like...
Did he do one? Was that his speech?
He was meant to.
reenacting
Anyway.
one of those videos?
Yeah, exactly.
Let me talk you through my outfit.
At Liv's birthday. Anyway, I then got back with another ex, Tristan. So he then came while my other ex was standing up and giving a few
So at
words.
your birthday, two of your exes said something about you.
Oh yeah, no, the current one didn't.
So two of the exes did, and the current one didn't.
No, that you're getting confused. I got back with one of them, Tristan.
Yeah.
Who was then invited to this birthday, which Digby was already going to,
Oh, I
having
see.
been asked to say a few words.
Amazing.
So yeah, that was pretty awkward, but I just drunk
Can I
through
say a
that.
few words at your birthday?
Yeah, of course. It's just gonna be yeah. Why don't you?
I'll be really hammered by the time I stand
Why
up.
don't you actually come down with Olivia?
Yeah.
Keeping it
and
wholesome.
Say a few words.
Yeah.
Okay. So, give us our stat for this week. Have you got one?
Oh yeah, okay. So last week's was 12.5 million beers drank in the UK over the 90-minute Euro final. Yeah. So this one,
How many megapints consumed in Parsons Green on the hottest day of the year
at Hurlingham.
by women with the surname Bentley?
Well, funnily
Or men,
enough, now that you
actually.
say that, there's 4 of them roaming around.
Are there? The four loose in Parsons
4
Green.
loose Bentleys hanging about in Fulham.
Wow.
Actually 5 now.
There's 4 wild Bentleys roaming around London at the moment. Christ. It's like when someone escapes from London Zoo, isn't it? And the whole
London Zoo, I thought you were going to say from Wandsworth Prison.
The whole city's looking for them.
I think you mean the prison,
It's
not
like
the zoo.
a manhunt.
The Love Island final is happening on Monday. The
Mm-hmm.
most streamed final had viewing figures of how many and what season was this?
God.
Higher or lower than last week?
12.5 million.
Yeah.
It's got to be higher than 12.5 million. I think the viewing. Wow, is it? I don't know. I would say no, maybe less actually. I would say if there's 66 million people living in the UK, how many are watching the Love Island final? Maybe 1 in 6, maybe 10 million. Maybe.
Close.
That's 10 million in nowadays viewing figures is insane.
Ridiculous.
Most
So-
shows get like 150,000 now.
Is that?
Yeah, so 10 million is amazing. 9 million? Something like that?
It is 6 million viewers, and that was in the 2019 series.
Is that the one? See, the only one that I really watched was the one with Curtis Pritchard in it.
Yeah, no, that was the year. They Curtis Pritchard won
Mm.
with Molly May, Maura Higgins,
Tommy Fury.
Tommy Fury.
Yeah, that was a big year. Vintage year. That was the only year that I really got into it. For some reason, I kind of watched it that year and kind of enjoyed it. And then I did some work with Curtis Pritchard, and he's actually with both the Pritchards, AJ and Curtis. They're lovely chaps. And then they did that great Hollyoaks thing. Do you remember that?
That popped up on my Instagram quite a few times.
The Pritchard years.
Do we think it's going to still be as big as it always has been, Love Island? Or do you think with these shows they do slowly
I think they have like cycles, don't they? Like when we were younger, X Factor was the thing.
I used to love
and then
watching the
at
X
some
Factor
point
auditions.
that died out, and then right now the thing is dating shows, but at some point that will die out. It's just like cyclical, isn't it? I was talking to someone the other day about the X Factor and how massive that was.
Yeah.
When I was at school, everybody would watch it.
I loved it, the auditions.
Even my
'cause
family,
you
my
get
dad
the funny
would watch
ones.
it. We'd all literally like sit and watch it on a Saturday night, and it was proper. It really felt like the whole country was watching it at the time.
I did. I liked it.
Yeah, I liked it. Everybody liked it.
I wonder they should bring that back. Actually,
Well, Simon Cowell is apparently making something. He's bringing something back.
a boy band. He's looking for a boy
He's trying
band
to
or
make a
something.
new boy band. Yeah, we should put your brother in it.
My brother can't sing.
Yeah, but neither can Niall Horan.
Savage.
That's a joke. I'm sure he can.
I think he probably definitely
Yeah, but with
can.
a bit of training, your brother could be fine.
Can you? What talents have you got? Can you, other than your stand-up, can you sing? It
Not
would be pretty
really.
amazing to be able to sing.
Yeah, it would be. You know what? The BTS lads, you know the K-pop band BTS. I
Yeah.
think there's 8 of them. Anyway, they're doing national service now in South Korea, because in South Korea you have to do national service. And even though they're in the biggest band in the world, they've had to stop doing that for a year to go and do
It's
national
a bit
service.
like Elvis Presley. He had to do that.
It's
Didn't he?
great, isn't it?
Yeah.
I like that.
that's-
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
I tell you what, it's been quite a dramatic week, Liv. I don't want to sort of bring the tone down, but young Maya Jama and young Stormzy.
Oh, you're so dramatic. I know.
I've not been this sad since One Direction split up. It
It's
really knocked me for
ridiculous.
6,
But
this.
I read that they broke up because she wants to. She's not ready to like settle down and have
And
kids.
you liked that, didn't you? Because you're the same age.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why
because-
don't you and Maya team up and like go mental together?
Yeah, that would be great.
And you could be like, I tell you, you
Love
could, you
that. I
could be
think-
like that Taylor Swift crew that knock around together. What are they? She's got like a crew of famous women who all go clubbing together. You could create like
How do you know that?
because it's all over the papers. It's
Do
like,
you, I bet you sit and read the Daily Mail on your way here, don't you? The showbiz section. Showbiz.
I don't read the Daily
That's where
Mail.
you're hanging out.
but I just know that Taylor Swift famously has like this crew of famous women, and
I
they all
mean,
go around together. Why
I-
don't you create like the British version of that?
Okay, who would I put in my group?
Maya,
Yep, unbelievable.
just who else would be good? Kate Middleton.
I think you were about to say Katie Price.
Better idea. Katie Price. She's knocking around.
Knocking around. What a sad expression made me laugh.
Katie Price would be well up for it. I've not met her, but I can imagine.
She'd love a night out. I love anyone who loves
Pricey.
Pricey.
Who else would be up for it? Ruth Langsford would be up for it.
This is becoming quite the group.
As I'm talking about this, I'm thinking this is a better and better idea. All of these famous women who are recently single, Jama, Bentley, Langsford,
Like, I
Price.
think I'm quite in the same bracket as them.
All
I'm
of you
well
just
below.
bowling around London, going mental,
Going
with
to Chiltern
mega pints
Firehouse.
of rosé. Paparazzi like on mopeds all around you.
Everyone just chugging it back. Can
Who
you
else?
imagine?
Who else would be good? Who else has recently become single? Who's famous and a woman? Come on. There must be some others.
Don't know. Can't think.
So Jama, Stormzy, not happy
Oh,
about
I
that.
thought they were quite like this.
Is Stormzy your type?
Because they were together, then broke up, and then got back together. Have you done that before in relationships?
I've never broken up with someone and then got back with them. No.
Really?
No.
I'm quite surprised at that.
I've always ended something and then that's been the end.
Oh, I do it often.
I was with someone the other day who did some work with Harry Styles, and they were telling me about the mechanics of Harry Styles' life, like moving around as Harry, because they were with him filming a project, so they were sort of following him around with cameras for a week, and they were explaining to me like the logistics of moving around the place with Harry Styles.
What do you mean? Oh my God, I bet it's mental.
Just like that, how it actually works, like how they move from one place to the other, and how they.
Tell us how it works.
I don't know how much I can say, but like the fact that there's like 2 SUV vans parked outside his house all the time with security in them. Like the whole time there's 2 vans outside the house.
Oh, I don't think I could handle that.
That's like a really scary level of attention, isn't it?
Yeah, that's next level.
Although having said that, I do have a couple of friends who have just seen him out and about with no one around him. So I don't know how that works.
Well, I mean, yeah, when I've been on the showbiz section of the Daily Mail, I have seen, like, when he gets papped, he looks like he's just roaming around.
on
by
a line
himself.
bike. He seems to be on a line bike all the
James
time.
Corden.
Yeah, they seem to be just liming around all the time.
Liming around.
Where are the SUV vans in that? I like a line bike. Maybe,
I know.
Maybe the 3 of us could go liming
That could
together.
be your boy band.
Yes.
Sounds more realistic than, like, me and Katie Price
this
and
is so
J-Lo,
great.
to be honest.
So you're going to bowl about with Katie Price and Ruth Langsford, and I'm
Yeah.
going to bowl about with Harry Styles and James Corden. Yes, on line bikes.
I'm just trying to
If anyone
imagine
listening
that.
has any suggestions for famous single women that Liv could hang out with,
Well, firstly, what's the famous side have to do with it? And also,
'cause
it's
it's
gone from
interesting.
me basically being desperate and single and hitting 30. Now I've got no mates and I need friends to go and get shit-faced with.
no, I like it. A friend of mine called Sean, who you know,
Yeah.
said what you should do, because you're about to turn 28 and you've got 2 years now until you're 30, you should write a list of things you want to do in the next 2 years before you turn 30.
Okay, what would be your number
I don't
one
know. I was going to ask you what you think would be good for that list.
for you?
Yeah, or just generally, Or for me,
Yeah, it would have to be personal.
Yeah, for me, he was like, you should think of 10 things and write them down, and then say, in the next 2 years, I'm going to try and do these 10 things.
Okay, number one, obviously, has to get James Haskell on the podcast. That has to be on your list. You've got 2 years.
I think the point of these is meant to be like hard
right.
things to do. I mean, we could get James Haskell next week if we really wanted.
Well,
it.
he's parring your messages, so I don't think we could.
That's true, probably.
We'll have to go through
that
his
might
agent.
be the hardest thing on the list.
That actually might be. I think
Learn a language. Get James Haskell on the what What's easier?
What do you want to do? Do you want to travel more? Actually, is there anything you'd want to learn?
Yeah, there is. Of course, there is, but I just don't know. Like, I'd like to learn the piano and I'd like to learn a language, but is that something I should be spending my time doing at the age of 28? I feel like if you've learned piano, you've learnt it when you're a child.
Yeah, but that's like, I think learning a language. I would love to learn a language. Like, in my spare time, if I could, but I just don't have the brain.
What is the
skills.
obsession with learning? You know, when people say, "Oh, why don't you use this time productively?" I don't know, learn a language. It's always learn a language is the example people use. Isn't
But like during lockdown, when everyone started learning different things, like some people came out playing the guitar, loads of people learned Spanish. I learned that I didn't like magic mushrooms, to be totally honest. That was quite literally the extent of it.
So what should I put on my list?
Well, I don't know. What do you want to? Is there anything you want to achieve? Do you want to travel?
Yeah, there are things. Sean was like, you should put things like travel alone, travel on your own for a week.
Okay, can we actually talk about this for a minute? Because I read a lot of this stuff. You know, and it's like not self-help, but everyone's like, you should be able to go to a restaurant for lunch by yourself or do all this stuff alone.
Mm-hmm.
No,
I
don't want to do it alone.
No, but I think the point is that they say you should feel comfortable enough in yourself to be able to do that.
Would you want to go on holiday by yourself?
No, I wouldn't choose to, but I think the point is it's like a challenge, isn't it? Like, can I go away on my own for a week and be fine?
Yeah.
Would you do that? Would you go away on your own for a week?
Could hit up Ocean Beach.
I don't think you're meant to go to Ocean Beach because you won't be alone for very long, will you?
Oh no.
I think you're meant to go to like somewhere remote.
A hut in Scotland.
Yeah, on your own.
I could probably do that.
I don't know. We'll think about what to put on the list.
Have a think. Actually, maybe that should be your thing for next week. You should make your list by next week.
I'm going to make the list and I'm going to bring it in next week.
And we'll read it out.
Do that. Let's come back in part 2 and we'll go through what you've been up to.
Oh, who I've been up to. No, I'm joking.
Okay, see you in a sec. Welcome back to part 2. Was that weird?
Yeah, that was good. Go on.
Too much energy? Welcome back to part 2 of Private Parts with me, Tom Lucy.
And me, Liv Bentley. You sound like one of the guys at the races when you go...
Like a jockey?
No, the commentators.
Oh. When I do what?
When you just did that. Anyway.
What, introduce the podcast?
Welcome back.
Yeah, I like the races.
Yeah,
I should be a commentator.
No, I think you're too monotone.
Anyway,
we have had...
I could commentate something really boring, like snooker or something, and just speak like once every 2 minutes with some really, really inane comment. Oh, it's gone in the hole there. Oh, he'll be happy with that. Just lining up now.
Sounds quite good.
Bit of chalk on the end. Classic. Oh, it's gone in again.
No.
I could be commentating something else there.
So, following on from last week's episode when we had that story about nightmare housemates, here is another one.
Okay, here we go.
So, my roommate just moved in November 1st. She is an OnlyFans girl, bracket, which is fine. And I previously caught her on my security camera in my room being nosy and checking my room out with her boyfriend the first night she moved in. I decided to give her the benefit of the doubt and just wavered. Is that what it says?
Waved.
Benefit of the doubt and just waved it off since she was unfamiliar with the penthouse and I was out of town that day, so I couldn't really introduce myself. Then, while I was out of town for Thanksgiving, my camera sent me alerts that there was more movement in my room. I opened the app just to see my roommate filming her OnlyFans content in my room, in my bed, and with my teddy bear. Kind of feeling violated. Also went ahead and threw out the bear. Just to clarify, my lock can easily be popped, so locking it isn't really going to stop someone. I could get a locksmith to install one, but that is more heavy duty. I just have to pay an extra fee when I move out. I am open to possibly installing one myself. How do I confront my roommate without her knowing I have cameras set up?
Wow. Yeah, there's a lot to unpack there, isn't there?
The poor teddy bear.
How do I confront my roommate without her knowing that there's cameras there? That's a tricky one, isn't it? The whole cameras in a flat. Well, I told you that I had that issue with my the guy who's renting my flat, where there are security cameras in the flat, and he was like, "Can I tape those up?" And I said, Yeah, of course you can. I mean, when someone says, "Can I tape up this camera?" you immediately assume something bad's going to happen. But I guess you would would want cameras taped up, wouldn't you, if you were living somewhere?
Yeah, but this is her own private bedroom, so it's fine. But I understand with that because you're renting that house out for a year. You can't be sitting at home watching those cameras with a new bloke in your flat.
Why? I don't understand.
It's fucking weird, and I think that actually is illegal. Yeah, Airbnb's
I think it's frowned upon.
I think it's that's how Stephen Bear. He got
It definitely is illegal to film someone. But
it's a horrible thought. You hear these stories when you go to like Airbnbs and hotel rooms. I have nightmares of that happening.
What, that they've put cameras everywhere?
Yeah.
I've often thought that I should be one of those people that puts tape over. You know, some people on their laptops they put tape over
I do. Put a bit blue tack.
Are you one of those people?
Yeah, I get very nervous.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know what it is. I mean, it's not like I do anything on my laptop anyway. I sit there, fall asleep. I actually sleep with my laptop on my lap.
You're normally watching Law and Order, aren't you?
Literally what I did last night. Every night, it's the same.
Do you fall asleep to Law and Order every night?
Yeah, and I'll put other things on. I tried watching Below Deck to fall asleep, didn't work. The second I put
fucking
Law and
hell,
Order,
that's not fall asleep
bit of
TV,
murder,
is it?
right out. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's so weird. Is that maybe I'm a psychopath?
I don't think there's a maybe about it. I think falling asleep to serial killers is something, isn't it?
It's very soft on the ear, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe I should start putting tape over the thing.
What are you doing though on your lap? What are you?
Nothing.
What are you
but
worried about?
You know, there are those people who you notice that they have tape on their cameras. Should be one of those people.
Yeah, see, I hate all this technical stuff. I get very nervous.
Well, you know what happens in China, and I don't want to say anything that is libelous, but I think what happens in China is that people are monitored constantly with security cameras everywhere. And if you break a law, even if it's like throwing a piece of chewing gum on the floor or crossing a road when you're not meant to, you get picked up on a camera, and everybody has a social score.
I definitely have watched this episode of Black Mirror. That's like an episode of Black Mirror.
I think this is what's happening. So say that everyone has 100 points on their social score. Every time you're caught doing something wrong, even if it's like throwing some rubbish on the floor, you lose 5 points, and then everyone's score is monitored all the time. And
what happens when you get to 0?
Well, I don't know, but apparently if you then try to like rent a flat or buy a house, they check your score, and if your score's low, they won't do it. So that's how they keep everyone in line, because they're all constantly being monitored.
And I was worried about my Uber rating.
So maybe that's going to happen in London. I think that's not a bad idea. You wouldn't last very long.
I beg your pardon. I put everything in the bin. My cigarettes go in the ashtrays.
Yeah, standing outside smoking on the side of the street. They wouldn't like that.
Okay, fine. I spat my gum down the drain. That's different.
That's minus 20 points.
God, that's quite
So what's
terrifying.
the advice to this person here? How do they tell the flatmate?
I think just be honest and just say it was accidental. I didn't mean to film you, but I've got a camera in my room, and then you went in, it tripped it, and I got alerted, and so I looked at it, and I didn't like. I'd really appreciate if you didn't do that in my bedroom.
I think that's fine. I think that's a fair thing to say.
I don't think you need to get to the point of locking doors unless you get really nervous. I mean, if you're at the point where you're living with someone and you feel like you've got to bolt your door,
that's not good.
Like that, maybe
Have you
that's
ever
just a
lived
sign.
with anyone where you felt uncomfortable?
Yeah, my sister.
Okay.
I was cheeky bitch actually. I'll have her for this. She can hear this. She moved into my flat, and on her bedroom door there is a lock. On mine there is not. Okay. So I then said, I'm going to get a lock put on there. And she goes, why? And I was like, well, you've got one on yours. She goes, you don't need one. And because she goes in there and treats it like it's Zara. Just has a rummage through all my clothes.
I think girls do that generally, don't they? They just take each other's clothes.
This is one of them.
Olivia will, she lives with a couple of girls, and they're constantly sharing clothes.
I hate it. Because
Isn't that just a girl thing?
No, it's annoying. Well, mine's more a sibling thing. But my sisters used to wait. Not sisters. Cordelia used to wait. Who's the one who's just younger than me, until I'd leave to go on away trips with Made in Chelsea. She'd race up into my bedroom,
take loads of stuff,
and then have the balls to post an Instagram photo. I wouldn't have even taken off yet. I'd be in the airport ringing my dad. Not that he could give a flying fuck.
Your dad? What's your dad going to do about it?
He thinks it's funny. And I'm
Dad,
like,
my sister's taken my Zara cardigan.
Go and take my fucking underwear off. I'm joking.
Is that not so girls don't just do that for each other? Guys don't really do that.
Friends do.
I don't think it would really fly if I said to one of my guy friends, oh, by the way, I've taken a pair of your shorts and I'm wearing them. I don't think that would... Well, maybe it would be okay.
Don't know why, but I just think boys aren't as cleanly as girls. So I just feel like that would be gross.
We've actually been looking at flats recently because we're trying to move at the end of the year. So we've been looking at flats, and we've been into a few flats that only have boys living in them. Like, it'll be like 2 boys living together. And wow, some of the conditions that some men live in is unbelievable. It's like, you know, normally, I know this is a stereotype, but 2 girls living together, the flat's going to be in decent shape.
Immaculate.
But we've been into a couple where, and also they've quite often been sat there while we've been looking around their flat. So you
That's
can't really
always
say
really
anything
weird.
because they're all sat there, working or whatever. But it is fascinating to go into people's houses and have a look.
I just think boys don't notice the same things that girls do. Like, I lived with a guy once, and honestly, his boxers were under the sink 2 weeks. Didn't notice.
Under the sink?
As in sorry, we had the sink's like there, and then it had like a chest of drawers.
Oh,
It was under, and I could, every time I walked in there, I could see them. And I just didn't notice. And I remember saying to him, "Was your box there?" And he goes, "Oh God, I didn't even know." I was like, I see them every fucking day.
Yeah, I can imagine that happening.
But whereas girls, I think, are a bit more.
So other than your sister, you've never had any terrible roommate experiences? Your roommate at the moment sounds quite nice.
No, my roommate's always great. My sister wasn't terrible. I actually really enjoyed living with her. But it was just, what sisters fight.
When I was growing up, we lived in the house in Clapham, and we had a lodger for about 6 months. We had a guy renting a room in our family house when I was maybe like 2 or 3 years old, really young. He was a dentist. Okay, he was a young.
Here we go.
He was a young. I know you like a dentist. He was a young dentist, and he would go out in the evenings and bring men back to the house. And his bedroom that he was renting was directly next to the room I used to sleep in with my sister. I was like 3, my sister was 1. We were sleeping in this room together, and my dad said that he would bring men back to the house and have really loud sex with them in the room next to me and my sister.
Oh my God.
To the point where my dad had to take him to the side one day and be like, "Look, obviously, you can do what you want. It's none of my business what you get up to, but you are sleeping in a room next to my 3-year-old and my 1-year-old.
Innocent children."
And I feel a little uncomfortable with them listening to this all the time. So my dad had to have a conversation with this guy and be like...
I'm not being funny, but that is quite ballsy. Like, if I was...
From the guy?
Yeah, from the guy, of course. Not ballsy of your dad to have to tell him to calm it down in his own home. No, that's punchy. It's like if you were staying with, like, family, friends and bring back some random...
No, but it's not... Like, he was living there, so it was... So where else is he meant to go?
Well, no, I know, but as in, like I suppose.
He can do what he wants, but it's just funny that, my dad had to have that conversation with him. I can imagine
what an awkward conversation to have as well. Sorry, could you just keep it down?
Yeah, and the number of times my dad would have said, "And you're gay," which is obviously fine. Like, we don't mind. You do what you want. Obviously, I've no issue with that.
Why is
this is not a conversation about that. My dad, he would have said that about 15 times. Obviously, do what you want. Go where you want. I don't care. Do what you want. See who you want. Meet who you want.
How long did this lodger last?
I think only about 6 months, and then he went off to live somewhere more soundproofed. Yeah, it was great.
Oh, Tom. Okay, right, so this is my DM of the week. This is a slightly gentler one. It's a little bit nicer. And I don't think cash is going to be exchanged. Hi, Liv, I hope you're okay. Your mum told me you dog sit. Would you be able to come to mine and dog sit my 2 dogs, please? Dates 18th of August to the 26th of August, Sunday to Sunday. XX.
Who? What?
Honest to God, random bloke.
Sorry, what's the beginning of that again? Read the beginning.
Hi, Liv, I hope you're okay. Your mum told me you dog sit.
Your mum told you dog sit?
Is that bizarre? Also, he's asked
Your
me
mum pimping you out as a dog sitter?
She fucking better not. No, of course not. Mum doesn't go up to random people saying, "I've got a child who dog sits."
So why is that?
I hate dogs. So how weird is that as a message?
That feels
also,
like
that's on my 30th birthday weekend. Is everybody dog sitting someone?
That would be a great thing to do for your 30th birthday. What do you do? I'm dog sitting a random bloke off Instagram's
dogs.
I think that might be the beginning of how you get murdered. Hi, apparently you dog sit.
I think I prefer messages like that, though, to like the really aggressive ones that have been coming
That's the
through.
sweeter message.
That's a really sweet. That's
although
a sweeter.
my worry with that message is that although it sounds sweet, it might lead to something far more dark than any of the other messages.
Far more sinister.
Well, but listen, if anyone is listening and they need their dog looked after,
I don't do dog walking.
Get in touch and Liv is happy
Tom will
to
be
do.
round because he's got no plans for his birthday.
Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be there with a fleet of dogs.
On a Megapint.
I'll be like that picture of Daniel Radcliffe walking through the park with like 15 dogs strapped to him. Have you seen that picture?
I have.
Everyone's like, I wonder how Harry Potter's getting on at the moment. And there's a picture of him just with like 12 dogs attached to his waist.
Just loving life.
I do sometimes see those people who are like professional dog walkers and they just have all the dogs strapped to them. And I think, is that a nice life?
No.
Part of me thinks it's quite a stress-free...
What, until all 7 of them shit at the same time? Then you're fucked.
No, but I just think as a job, walking dogs is probably quite relaxing, isn't it? But then you see that and you think, is it relaxing?
By the way, I've seen more and more corgis. Saw one this morning. I think they're like really making a
Hey,
comeback.
listen, I don't want to say that I've
Inbreeding.
kick-started a corgi trend, but
You've been breeding her?
potentially. They're coming back in. It's like skinny jeans.
No, I don't. No. Well,
Corgis and skinny jeans are coming back.
skinny jeans.
Mark
No.
my words.
I was about to say Mark Right. I don't know why. Sorry.
Mark Wright is very skinny jeans and corgis energy.
Skinny jeans and corgis.
Yeah. No, there are a lot of corgis hanging around. No, we're taking ours to a place called Dog Field, okay? Which is apparently a safe, enclosed, like, football field where they just have loads of, like, stuff. And the dogs, you let your dog off in there and it's completely safe and enclosed. And they just go mental.
Are you going to
And
go
there's, like, other dogs. There's,
to
like,
M&S on your way back from that? Because you're really living the 20-year-old life, my
and
friend.
I'm going to pick up my children from trampolining class, and then I'm going to go home and end my life.
That is, God, so dark.
No, apparently it's just a place you just let the dogs off and they go crazy. I guess it's like a dog version of like Ocean Beach Club.
well, I get let on the loose.
It's a safe,
Come
enclosed.
pick you up in a couple of hours,
It's an
my friend.
enclosed environment where people just go mental. For you, it would be, I don't know, like raffles or something.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
Why
no.
don't you hire out raffles for your 30th? Come
No.
on.
I don't-
Really lean into it.
I'm more of I like the day sesh at the moment. than
Okay,
the
we'll
evening.
rent it out for the day then.
That's even worse. It's a dark room.
It's a dark room. Yeah.
So many senses.
it
That's
is.
why I like summer. I like day. You know, I quite like that pear tree in the park. Battersea Park.
Oh yeah, why don't you do that?
Or rent out the pear tree.
We could have a big 30th for you, and we could tell the listeners what date it is, and that people could come.
And this guy could bring his dogs, and he
And
could
we
let them run
It
wild.
could be
in the
like one of
park.
those Facebook parties where it gets out of hand and
Sounding very desperate.
and
What,
police helicopters fly over and someone dies in the pool. It could be like that. Your family sound like the complete opposite of my family. I think it would
we
be
say
quite,
this every week. I feel like we need to do a
it
joining
would
of the
be quite
families.
fun to get like your parents and my parents to sit and talk, because yours sound like really loose, like kind of hippies from the 60s who like, you know, have naked photo shoots and take drugs. And mine are like,
My family do not take drugs.
mine could not be wearing more clothing or be more tight.
I think this is what
So
we
I
do.
think that would be quite fun.
For my birthday, we'll get you all the Lucy's
Yeah,
can
and
come
all the
down and meet
Bentleys.
the Bentleys.
It'd be like Meet the Fockers,
I think
wouldn't
they
it?
might. It honestly would be
It
actually.
would be like Meet the Fockers.
My mum, the
I
sex
bet your
therapist.
parents are like the Fokker parents, aren't they?
I mean, they're always asking for lube. No, we can't talk about that. It's so horrible. Do you know what happened, right? So when I first started the
Unbelievable.
lube,
That's unbelievable.
my dad loves it. He tells everyone about it. He goes, I need to talk to you about something. I was like, yeah. He goes, well, I poured it all over your mother and nothing happened. And I went,
What?
I went, that's...
Poured it all over your
I was
mother?
like, it's not like a magic potion.
What,
I don't
like
know
over
what
her head?
Yeah,
Like a bucket?
just drowned her in it.
I poured it on your mother?
My mum did something to her back, and she was like, "Oh, instead of down my back, can you give me a massage with your lube?" And I went, "Sorry." I was like, "Why have you brought it here?" So I gave her a massage with it. It does actually help with that, by the way,
Really?
because the CBD helps.
I
with
love the
muscle
idea of
tension.
your dad texting you saying, I poured it all over your mother and it doesn't work.
Well, he goes, "I'm not sure it works, Olivia." He goes, "I poured it all over your mother, and well, she's still lying there." And I thought,
Well,
I have way too many
your
honest
family sound
conversations.
alarmingly close.
Oh yeah, way too close.
I get uncomfortable around families that are too close.
Really?
Because it's so not what I'm used to. I find it like Olivia's family. They're all really close with each other, and I find it difficult.
I love it. I remember the day I lost my virginity. It was quite shocking. My father was like, "Right." It was awful, actually. I don't think about that.
I can imagine you were the kind of family that would have sat and talked about that over dinner that evening.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Eddie
Unbelievable.
says some really... I don't know if I can say this. If I can't say it. My brother, when he lost his virginity, was in the alpaca shed at home.
What? What?
Sorry.
Sorry, that sentence is unbelievable. My brother Eddie lost his virginity in the alpaca shed.
In the alpaca shed. And
Now, is the alpaca shed a gay club? Is that the name of a gay club? I think your brother
it's
rented
actually-
a room off my family for a few years.
he was hanging out with your house.
The alpaca shed.
housemate.
The alpaca shed is a great name for a gay club.
I
though.
forget I say things honestly. I actually sound a bit weird. No, we had some alpacas where we used to live. And Eddie lost his virginity in there. And he came home and told
In the shed?
In the shed. He came home and told everyone how it happened. This is at Sunday lunch.
The confidence of this man.
Punchy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was over Sunday lunch. I think it was a chicken roast.
Unbelievable. I don't know what to say.
My family's sounding weirder.
Are those
and fucking
alpacas still
weird.
alive?
They are. One was called Marmaduke. They're quite sweet.
Well, listen, there's a lot to unpack there.
There is. We also had a donkey. My dad came home one day. My dad's a bit weird. So that you have this thing called the Henley Standard, and people like to sell things like Shetland ponies or pygmy goats. Anyway, my dad found a donkey. So he was like, we've got to bring him home.
So you had a donkey?
It was like Animal Farm. Yeah, it was called Hope.
Hope the donkey?
Hope the donkey.
And
I have to give her away now that we're living on the hard shoulder of the M40.
So not much hope for that donkey?
No, not much hope. Not much hope for Hope. Anyway.
Where's Hope now?
Slaughterhouse. No, she's not. She went to go live, she went to go live with my godparents.
Okay, well, listen, thanks for listening.
I don't know how much of this shit we can actually have.
Listen, contact at privatepartspodcast.com if you have been affected by any of the things we've spoken about. If you also are from a damaged family, like Bentley's,
like Tom,
why not get in touch and tell us how your family have caused long-lasting trauma?
If they're as fucking mental as mine,
yeah, we'd like to hear from you. Liv, please be careful next week. I do worry about you.
Riding my donkey.
And we'll see you next week.
Goodbye.